Hey Miguel, how long will it take me to lose my weight? This is a question that I get fairly often. It obviously depends on a lot of things. It depends on your level of activity, how much weight you've got to lose, and the approach that you choose to take. What I want to share with you today is two different routes that you could take when it comes to losing weight. One is fast and furious, and the other is slow and steady. So fast and furious means you say, okay, what will yield the most weight loss as soon as possible? And in your mind, that is cutting out any bread, cutting out any pop, cutting out any booze, no ice cream, no eating out, you name it, right? So that's your approach because you want it to happen fast, right? You don't want slow and steady, you want fast and furious. This is your weight, and that is time. Your weight starts right there and right away starts to decline. And it's quite steep. You can see the rate at which you're losing weight is fairly fast. Now, the difficulty is also fairly steep. It starts fairly high and it just keeps getting a little bit harder and harder. That's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that because you've been so restricted, as soon as you hit your goal, that weight is gonna go back up. And most likely it'll continue to increase over time. Although it seems like it would work way faster, you need to make more of a drastic change in your life. You have to go from maybe not working out at all to working out every day. Maybe more than one workout a day. You need to go from eating whatever you're eating right now to weighing and measuring everything, right? That's gonna be very difficult to do. You are more deprived because you're gonna have to cut out a lot of the foods that you enjoy to make this happen fast. You have less ability to enjoy things that are just fun for you, hanging out with your friends, having a barbecue, having ice cream with your kids, anything like that. It gets a lot more difficult to enjoy. You have more guilt because of it. It's just not fun. Now, a bigger danger of this is that you actually can damage your metabolism. Your metabolism can get used to a severely reduced intake of food, making it much more difficult for you to sustain that weight. You're gonna have to keep exercising more and more gradually. You're gonna have to keep eating less and less gradually, which means that sooner or later, you're gonna go back to square one. So as you can see, fast and furious is not really recommended at all. All right, and then we have our slow and steady approach. Usually whenever you think, well, should I go for fast results or should I go for slow results? It seems obvious to choose fast results, but this proves otherwise. Check it out. So with slow and steady, your weight begins high, just like it did in the other example, but it goes down more gradually. You can see how it happens right here in this graph, right? So it goes down a little bit, you maintain it, then it goes down a little more, you maintain it. You're giving your body time to adjust to the new lifestyle. So yes, it'll take you a little bit longer to get to your weight goal, but once you get there, it'll be much easier to sustain. Now, in terms of difficulty, the difficulty is going to start fairly low. Why? Because we're not throwing everything we've got at the wall. Most of our members, when they start, they're only working out 2 days per week, 3 days per week max, not 5 or 6 or 7. We're asking them to eat as much as they can, not as little as they can tolerate. So that just makes it a lot more sustainable and a lot more enjoyable, which is extremely important. So in the slow and steady approach, some of the advantages are that it's not drastic, that you're not deprived or restricted because you're gonna start with a higher food intake. Yeah, you're gonna be losing less weight per week, but it's gonna be much easier to stay consistent because you're gonna be able to enjoy some ice cream or a beer or a glass of wine or eat out once a week with your family, whatever it is, right? So because of that, it's going to be a lot more fun. Your metabolism is not going to be damaged. It's not going to be difficult to sustain that weight loss that you had. You're going to be able to work out less and less and eat more and more as time goes by, which means you'll actually be successful. So there you go, guys. This is a very common mistake to make, to try and accelerate things as much as possible, to try to lose that weight as much as possible. It took us years to gain that weight, so it makes no sense that we try to get rid of it as soon as possible. Give yourself time, make sure that what you're doing is something that you enjoy so that you're not feeling deprived, so that you can just enjoy the process. Because at the end of the day, that's all we can truly do. If you have any questions, please post them below and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I love your faces and I'll see you soon.